Hi, I'm Gabriel Shankar and I'll be presenting I've Served My Time in Hell by George Macmillan. On May 3rd, 1942, a small detachment of Japanese sailors called the Kure Special Landing Force landed on the capital of the British Solomon Islands, Tolugi. They moved to the island of Guadalcanal and started to build Henderson Field, an airstrip there. If the Japanese were allowed to finish their airstrip, they would have a perfect vantage point to attack American trade routes to Australia. On June 26, Vice Admiral Robert Gormley, the South Pacific commander, held a conference at Auckland, and Admiral Chester Nimitz, commander of the Pacific, called for an operation in the Lower Solomons to take place on August 1st, but they didn't make this date. Gormley was placed as the commander of the operation, and Major General Archer Vandegrift was to be its coordinator. Vandegrift was under a lot of pressure. He only had 24 days to get the 1st Marines Division ready for the operation. On June 30th, he organized the division into working groups that worked around the clock to get everything prepared. The commander of the task force was Vice Admiral Frank Jack Fletcher. The commander of the amphibious force was Rear Admiral Richmond Kelly Turner, and Vandegrift was placed directly under Turner as the commander of the landing force. On July 28th, they met at Coral for rehearsal. Turner sent the landing force to the island, and the Japanese, excluding the Kure force, fled from Guadalcanal, leaving behind all their supplies. The U.S. Marines spent 2 days trying to remove the Kure force. Low-flying Japanese Kedis attacked American transports by night. Only a small portion of U.S. supplies made it, and Vice Admiral Fletcher withdrew, leaving Turner as the ranking American officer. Right after, however, Turner reported to Vandegrift and Australian Vice Admiral Crunchley that he would also have to pull out, as he could not stay without Fletcher's air support. Crunchley got wind that there was a Japanese force rapidly approaching. He stationed some of his ships next to a small island called Savo. These forces were quickly sunk. In the morning there was nothing left but burning transports that were hastily trying to unload as many people and things as possible. It was an utter defeat for the Americans. Vandegrift and his 1st Marine Division bunkered down just on the coast and prepared for Japanese attack. The Japanese sent 4 major offensives. The August Battle. Japanese General Haruyoshi Hyakutake was tasked with taking Guadalcanal. The only troops he had were Colonel Kyono Ichiki's 2,000 men infantry. Ichiki, without orders, sent in 900 of his men to fight the Marines. This impulse proved to be a failure, and 600 of the 900 men died. Ichiki was so disgraced by this that he committed suicide. This was a Japanese loss. In the September Battle, also known as the Battle of Bloody Ridge, from September 12th to September 14th, Lieutenant Colonel Merritt Edson commanded the American defense, and he established a thin line of troops against overwhelming Japanese numbers. The Japanese launched multiple attacks, but American artillery and defensive positions held firm, resulting in heavy Japanese casualties, and it proved to be another Japanese loss. The Battle of October. The assault on Henderson Field. Japanese forces bombed the airship and managed to take out 5,000 gallons of airplane fuel. Just before dusk on the same day, 2 massive Japanese ships shot off 900 shells into the field, and by noon of the next day the field was destroyed, but they kept bombing it. When the Japanese were assured that it was safe to unload, they unloaded thousands of men called the Sendai Division. Hyakutake had about 20,000 fresh troops on the island, and the Marines had a smaller number of sick and tired troops. The Japanese also had full control of the sea. Lieutenant Colonel Louis B. Puller, also called Chesty, led the U.S. force against the onslaught. They fought tooth and nail and used up 26,000 rounds of ammunition, but were able to successfully fight off the Japanese. It was another Japanese loss. In November 12th to 14th, the United States naval forces under the command of Admiral Callahan managed to intercept Japanese transports, leading to the sinking of several enemy ships. Admiral Willis Lee sank multiple Japanese battleships, and Admiral Kondo, the Japanese admiral, ordered his troops to withdraw, effectively marking the U.S. victory at Guadalcanal, although it wasn't made official until February 9, 1943. The battle was ended, and all of the U.S. troops there were sent home due to weight loss issues and sickness. Before leaving, many marked their friends' graves, and one read, "And when he goes to heaven, to St. Peter, he'll tell another Marine reporting, sir, I've served my time in hell."